All right. It is time for Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday.
It sure is.
Oh,
And
no. Do you need me to do it again?
the North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score some great deals on award-winning Hondas. Stop by your Helpful Honda dealer today or visit ntxhondadealers.com to learn more or even buy a Honda if you want.
Thanks, Honda. Love
Thanks,
you.
Honda.
Love you, Honda. Mwah. Love you, Honda.
Honda's great.
All right. So, get your questions in. High school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel. Whether or not Mallory has the scores up on her computer. Things like
I
that.
do now, sorry.
Okay. A note on last night. About last night.
Quite a bit of stuff happened.
So here's the thing about the first Thursday night of the Texas high school football playoffs and why there are a lot of games played on Thursday nights. Because a lot of teams, a fair number of teams, schedule it because, okay, they know they're probably going to overmatch them, right? And they want to get a jump on them. Maybe they can get to a nice stadium, stuff like that, and everybody can kind of get a jump on it, right? Mm-hmm. The first week of the first night of the Texas high school football playoffs, typically kind of sleepy, kind of, cruising along. Scores come in. Oh, the playoffs here. We're excited. We're excited. But then you get
nothing
there and
unexpected.
Oh, yeah. Maybe there's one surprise, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look at that. Or near misses, right? Like a team hung with a team for a while, pulled that. Like for example, last night, Texas High and Fulshire were tied at 14 in the third quarter before Texas High pulled away. That would normally be like the headline, like, oh, hey, Texas High, kind of, they had to come back and beat Fulshire, stuff like that. Not last night. Mallory. And I asked Craig Way this on his radio show, and he agreed. Neither of us can remember a Thursday night, an opening Thursday night of the Texas high school football playoffs like we saw last night. Mm-hmm. Last night was, and I know what I'm saying when I say this. Let me look directly in the camera. Let me buzz the lens.
I wish I could zoom in.
Last night was Crazy Town Banana Pants.
That's a new one.
It's not a new one, but
it's funny.
You know what I mean when I say that. It was nuts. First of all, you had statistically, actually, I'll tell you when I knew things were going off the rails. I'll go in kind of chronological order. I knew things were going off the rails when I flipped on Texan Live, and they had a few different games on. I kind of flipped through and I was like, oh, hey, here's Tomball and Cy Park. I picked Cy Park to win Region 2. Mm-hmm. Let's get an eye on them. Tomball, great win last week. Probably not going to win this one. Turn on, and it's 14-7, Tomball. And Cy Park is kicking off because they've just scored to make it 14-7. It was 14-0.
So you start to raise an eyebrow.
And I go, oh, well, maybe we got something here. And sure enough, Tomball beats Cy Park resoundingly. And here's, because I watched a fair bit of that game on Texan Live. That's not a fluke. Tomball was the better team last night. That is not fluky. That is not bounces went one way or the other. No. They went out there and they beat them. And they kind of beat the brakes off them. Like, Tomball looked great. Cale Kellums, their quarterback, is a dude. He's a playmaker. The defense made key stops at the key moments when they needed to. They came up with the big play. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we were off to the races. Because then you get into like the six-man ranks. And the six-man ranks, there are a lot of Thursday night games. They need to, I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but they want to start early because they know they have to play on a Wednesday at some point. Even though they get a whole week off. They'd like to play as early as possible. All of that is to say, last night, we had a couple of big stunners. I lost another regional pick, Spring Lake Earth, in 1A Division I Region 1. They lose to Happy.
Yeah.
The mighty Cowboys of Happy. By the way, Bobby Brown at Texas1AFan.com called that because they've got Texas1AFan.com picked Happy to win the region. So they knew something.
They know something.
They knew something. That's a big upset, though.
Yeah.
Big upset. Another big upset. It was a sizable upset. Van over Garden City, a game that featured 16 lead changes.
Gee, 16?
Yeah, 70-69. Van Horn,
nice.
Grow up. Van Horn beats Garden City. I don't mean that. Never grow up. Keep doing that. There was that. From our friend Lehman Saunders, Oglesby beats Calvert. That's not necessarily an upset, but Oglesby beats Calvert for the first time ever. They were 0-14 against Calvert coming in. All time.
That's nice.
You had that in 6-man. And then you had other ones. Saginaw Boswell beat Hazlitt Eaton.
That one I did see. Yeah, I did see a lot of that.
That is one of those things that's pretty surprising. Eaton was, I don't know if they were a state championship contender, but they were a kind of a sexy pick to make a deep run. And Boswell, fantastic job by John Abenshan, our Canadian friend, who goes out there and gets the big win for the Pioneers. You had only kicking the teeth in on Rawls. That was really impressive. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you had your normal blowouts, right? Shiner and Refugio took teams to Murder Town, right? Things like that. We're all dancing around the big upset from last night.
Yeah.
The final score was, what was the final? Do you have it?
Oh, I have it. Yes, I can pull it up.
I think it was 39-35. Stanton,
Yeah.
What was it?
No, I just remember. Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
I'll find it.
Stanton beats Childress.
Okay.
In 3A Division II Region 1. That was
39-34.
39-34. 39-34. Stanton 39, Childress 34. And that is the number 3 team in the state, undefeated, gone, losing to a 4th place team out of Stanton. Cody Hogan will join us on Valley Sports Southwest tonight live. My initial reaction last night when that went final was, I think that's the biggest upset of the season in Texas high school football. I think Stanton over Childress is the biggest upset of the season in Texas high school football. But I also, one thing I'm working on personally, just in my own personal life, is I'm trying not to be a prisoner of the moment, right? I don't want, if I eat a sandwich, I don't want to be like, this is the greatest sandwich I've ever had. I need to be thoughtful about it. You know what I mean? And be like, all right, let's think about all the sandwiches you've had.
That's a good point.
I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment.
Yeah. So
I looked it up. Hey, Mallory. It was the biggest upset of the Texas high school football season, statistically.
That is
Our
awesome.
computer, the Dave Campbell Texas football computer, powered by our friend Jerry Forrest at pigskinprep.com, had Stanton as a 47-point underdog. 47-point underdog to Childress. And the Buffaloes do it. The Buffaloes do it. And by the way, another thing, not fluky. They took a 19-0 lead in this game. They stormed the castle on Childress. They
started hot. Yeah.
They went in there with a steel chair and were like, let's go. Let's go.
Flag.
And they come out with a remarkable, truly remarkable victory. I am having trouble coming up with the last time I remember a stunner like this. Richardson Pierce over Cedar Hill springs to mind. But this is a mammoth upset. And so suddenly you take a look at 2A Division 2 region, or 3A Division 2 Region 1. Let's find out how things shake out, right? Canadian and Idalou tonight, Abernathy and Farina, Lubbock, Roosevelt, Spearman, right? I wonder if District 4 is just better than District 3. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's just the case. Or we'll find out tonight. If they sweep it through, then we'll know. But a truly stunning opening to the 2021 Texas High School Football playoffs. And guess what? That was the chips and salsa.
We got more.
We got the enchilada tonight. We got the chimichanga. 222 UIL winner go home games tonight. 222 tonight.
That's
awesome.
That'll
be awesome. Let's
Very
talk
excited.
about it. Do we have any questions from our friends?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and start off with one kind of relevant. With the loss from Childress, do you see an Abernathy-Roosevelt rematch?
I think you could. I need to see what happens tonight. Because if District 4 sweeps through District 3, then I think there's a chance that we see not just one rematch, but two. I think you could see Friona and third place. I think you could see Friona and Abernathy, and I think you could see Lubbock, Roosevelt, and Stanton in the regional final or regional semifinals. Like you really could. I think you do. Now, I think that right now, that would be my pick. My pick right now would be Lubbock, Roosevelt meets Abernathy in a regional final. And remember that game was high scoring and wild, but it was close. I, I, I have trouble. One of the things I have trouble with in analyzing games is when to apply the rule of it's tough to beat a good team twice. Right?
Yeah, I do that too.
Right?
For
like,
sure.
Okay, let's use your team as an example. Let's use the mighty Michigan State Spartans.
Oh, great.
Okay?
Okay.
I think we both agree that Michigan, as much as we hate to say this, is a good team.
Okay.
That game was close when they played the first time, right? Mm-hmm. That game was close. I would say I would apply that rule to a potential rematch, whatever rematch would happen.
Especially if it was in Ann Arbor.
I would say, boy, you know what? Michigan State, it's hard to beat a good team twice.
Right.
If you blow out the team the first time, if Michigan State had gone and beaten Michigan 70-0, and they were to meet again, I'd be like, yeah, it's hard to be a good team twice, but that team looks like they're just a lot better.
Yeah.
So in an Abernathy-Lubbock Roosevelt hypothetical matchup, they got to get past tonight. Mm-hmm. In a hypothetical matchup, that I think I don't know what I would do with that, but I would be very interested to see. I'd love to see it. What's next?
How about thoughts on Lindale and Lumberton tonight?
Okay. Yeah. Lindale is a team that is better than their 6-4 record indicates. Lindale is a team that I think is peaking at the right time, even with their loss last week to Kilgore. I think they're playing very well. Lumberton is a team that I think has flown under people's radars a little bit this year, and I'm not really sure why. I think they're a really fun team. Mm-hmm. I think it's because they play kind of in... I think it's literally geography. I think it's because they play in that kind of southeast part of the state that's not really Houston. It's like the Houston exurbs, you know what I mean? Like with Huffman Hargrave and Splendora and Viter and stuff like that. They're kind of the Houston exurbs. Because of that, and maybe because they took they took some losses early, I think Lumberton's a good team. I'm taking Lindale tonight. I think that they're peaking at the right time. I think they figured it out. I also think that they've got the playoff pedigree that they earned last year. That type of experience of being in playoff games before, I think that matters. Go ask Cy Park. They found out the hard way that winning in the playoffs is tough. Mm-hmm. It was just their second thing to Michael Silvers for the note. It was their second time in the playoffs last night. They have not won a playoff game. They lost to Tom Ball Memorial in the first round last year. So, yeah. I think I like Lindale in this one. Lumberton is playing well. They give Viter everything they wanted last week, but I do think Lindale gets the win. What's next?
Okay. Is DeSoto just that good, or is Harker Heights a little bit overrated? Thinking face.
I think I reject the premise of the question. I don't think it has to be one or the other.
Yeah.
I think DeSoto looked awesome last night. Mm-hmm. I think they played their most complete game. And by the way, that game got close, got a little bit closer. Like there was a lot of cosmetic scoring in that game. DeSoto went out there and defensively looked really good against a high-powered attack in Harker Heights. I was talking with a buddy of mine who was on the call for DeSoto, and he was like, dude, I think that Rashawn Sanford for Harker Heights is the truth. And they're going to be back. I think they're maybe a year away. Mm-hmm. For DeSoto, that was excellent. That was as emphatic as you could reasonably hope for. Maybe they've turned the corner. Maybe they figured it out, but there's tougher challenges ahead, including next week where they play Rockwall. And so you want to talk about getting to the fireworks factory. Rockwall and DeSoto are two high-powered attacks with a lot of dudes out there. The DeSoto defense was great this week. Can they be great next week? They'll need to be against one of the biggest offenses in the state. Mm-hmm. And by the way, congratulations to Braden Locke, who set the 6A career touchdown passing record last night.
Nice.
So congratulations to him.
Cool.
What's next?
This one's from Pickle.
Ugh, which one?
Even though E-Block couldn't get it done against South Oak Cliff. What do you mean, which pickle?
You mentioned Trish was in first. You gave Trish a participation ribbon in first four.
Oh, I guess you're right. This is a little pickle. Littler pickle.
Jake?
No. Jake needs to start watching these shows, though. Anyways. Even though E-Block couldn't get it done against South Oak Cliff last night, can we find another reason to have a Matt Steph E-Block taco party?
I made the bold declaration that when Everman took the lead on South Oak Cliff last night, I made the bold declaration that Matt Stepp would buy all of his followers tacos if Everman beat South Oak Cliff.
He's got a lot of followers.
I know. I was costing him a lot of money. South Oak Cliff ended up coming back and winning. So I unfortunately had to announce the cancellation of the Matt Stepp E-Block taco party. But yeah, we could probably find something. South Oak Cliff looked good once they turned on the gas. They're probably going to get Frisco next week, Frisco or Royce City, which will be a good game, and then they'll probably get Aledo, and we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
Although Alito's got to get past Frisco Liberty in the second round. I think Frisco Liberty's cooking with gas right now. What's next?
This one will be kind of an obvious answer, but what are your thoughts on Mart coming into the playoffs?
I think I don't think they're gonna. I think they should probably forfeit. I don't like. I just like. Why even try?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I was trying to think of a funny thing to say. Mart is as close. Mart is as close as we have to a prohibitive favorite to win a state championship.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to touch him in Region 3. If it ends up being Falls City, which, by the way, shout out Burton for beating Cristoval last night. Another regional pick of mine down.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Although that was a weird thing, not to get too far in the weeds, but Burton was a fourth-place finisher because they had to forfeit a bunch of games. They were much better than a fourth-place finisher. Cristoval kind of ran into a buzzsaw there, although give a lot of credit to Burton because according to our friend Amy McDaniel out there in San Angelo, Burton did it on their backup quarterback, which is really impressive. Anyway.
Nice.
If they see Falls City in a if Mart sees Falls City in a state semifinal, Mart has the deed on Falls City, like they've just owned them. But then you get to a title game, right? And we thought they were going to waltz to a title last year against little ding-dong Windthorst, right? And then Windthorst goes out there and wins the state championship.
Yeah. So,
who knows? And I don't think they'll see Windthorst in a title game. I picked Munster, but you could also see Albany. You could also see Windthorst. Whoever it is that comes out of there, Mart will be a favorite, but they've also got something to prove. Now, that can be a dangerous thing, or it can be a not dangerous thing. So, we'll see. Mart's the favorite in 2A Division 2. Plain and simple. What's next?
Here's a food question.
Yeah.
Do you do turkey for both Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners, or is turkey strictly for Thanksgiving?
Turkey is a year-round food?
It is.
Turkey's a year-round food. And by the way, if you're ever looking for cheap turkey, you can get it like the other 10 months of the year.
Yeah.
We do turkey for both Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Because I think turkey rules. Yeah, we do it for both.
Okay.
And I regret nothing. I don't like ham.
See, we do turkey for Thanksgiving, and then we do ham for Christmas.
I think ham's kind of gross.
Ham is not gross. Ham is good.
I don't like ham.
It's good Christmas. Anyway. All right, well, there's your food question for you.
I don't like ham.
Let's move on to thoughts on Liberty Hill versus Crosby.
Are they playing?
Somebody said thoughts on Liberty Hill versus Crosby rematch in 5A Division 2.
Oh, like if they get to a semifinal.
Okay,
I was like.
Well, I guess they did. Yeah. Not yet.
I've only had one cup of coffee this morning. Maybe I need another. Yeah. So
wake-up
Crosby got a
voice.
huge win last night, although I think it was over North Forest. Like they overmatched him. And then who did Crosby beat? Crosby got a big win last night. They dominated. Who did they beat? Houston Madison. And then Liberty Hill, it has a game, I believe, tonight with Bastrop, unless they already won. Which
it was Bastrop.
Yeah, they play Bastrop tonight. They'll win that game, in my opinion, although, what do I know? If they were to get there. Now, I don't know if it's a guarantee, right? I don't know if it's a guarantee. I think Liberty Hill is down this year. Now, that's an impossible bar because that thing was a flamethrower last year. That was just a body bag machine. But they are. I would probably take Crosby if they were to get that far. But I also think Crosby's got to navigate those waters again in Region 3. They'll get their shot at Fort Bend Marshall. They will get their shot at Texas High. They'll get their shot at. There's definitely somebody in Region 3 that I'm forgetting. But yeah, I think that if you are, if you're looking for teams, A&M Consolidated, Montgomery, Texas City, yeah. If you are looking for, if they were to get there, I'd probably take Crosby. But there's a lot of road between now and then, folks. We gotta get there first. Liberty Hill isn't even in the second round yet, so let's tap the brakes a little bit. What's next?
We got some college action.
All right, we go to Mallory Hartley, our chief college football correspondent.
No, that's Craven. Is Texas Tech going bowling? If you haven't heard, there was a little bit of news with that program this week. you haven't heard, you should check our website
Yes.
or our podcast or anything on Twitter because it's all over.
Yes, they have decided to fold the program. It's tough.
They
are they
not-
going bowling this year? No.
Well, they're at 5 wins right now, but the rest of their schedule
they
is
gonna
kind
beat?
of dicey. I think their best chance is Iowa State at home.
Yeah. So this week.
Right. Well, and they've got all that momentum, with the new hire and stuff like that. So
That's neat. Do they have a defense?
yeah.
I'm sorry. I hate to be a jerk, but it's like
you're right.
they're double-digit underdogs at home.
Yeah. I'm trying to be positive here.
Okay. I don't think Tech's going bowling. I'd love to see it. But
Can you not expect at least one upset in the next 3 games, though?
no.
Not at all.
No. I just don't think Tech's very good this
Yeah.
year. I think that they are a little under-talented. And
A lot of injuries, too,
they're
which is
banged
not.
up.
Yep.
They're banged up, right? I don't know. I don't see it happening. I think they're going to finish 5-7. I'd love to
Yeah.
see it. I'm rooting for them.
Me too. I am rooting
I
for
did
them, too.
I did the thumbs up. I shouldn't do that. The guns up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's
I'm
guns up.
rooting for them, but I don't see it happening.
Thumbs up
I think they're going to
Aggies.
finish. I think finish 5-7.
All right.
What's next?
How about Spring versus Woodlands matchup? And if you haven't checked, if you haven't looked at the picks video that Tepper has actually Tepper did, I edited.
That was good.
I edited. That's his top matchup of the
my spotlight
week.
game of the week.
Spotlight game of the week.
I think it's the best game in the state. It is. Spring has that guy. They got that dude. Like, you know how you say, like, you're not that guy, pal?
Yeah.
He is that guy.
He
pal.
is that guy.
Bishop Davenport is
Yep,
that.
yep.
Bishop Davenport is that guy, pal. He can take over the game, and the Woodlands has had trouble, as I mentioned in the picks video. They've had trouble with dual threat quarterbacks, and here comes a dual threat quarterback, like a stud. A lot of this comes down to the Spring defense and whether or not they're going to be able to contain this Woodlands attack, which is young but very dynamic. Can they get pressure without sending extra blitzers? Because, not to get too far into the weeds, but if you watch the tape on the Woodlands, if you send blitzers after Mabry Matauer, he's really good at escaping pressure and extending the play and making you hurt. That's going to be a lot of it. If Spring can get pressure with their front four, then game's over already. But if they can't, then it's like game on, and I think the Woodlands can absolutely hang in this one. I think this game's going to be fun. We're going to have a reporter out there. I think it's the game of the night. I think it's a coin flip. I think you are well within your rights to take the Woodlands. I think they are. I think this is a really good team whose 2 losses on the way. They have the one loss to Katy. The other one is a good loss, too. The other loss is to, come on, you ding-dong.
I think I knew this
Bridgeland.
one. Yeah.
Maximum Bears. So, yeah, they've got 2 solid losses. Now, we'd be a jerk. I don't like saying this, but
You got to say it.
The Woodlands' 2 best wins are losses. Like, their 2 best results are the loss to Katy, which was close. They played them great, and the close loss to Bridgeland. They have not won a game against a team I would call really good. They beat Houston Lamar. That's a good win. But they haven't beaten a really excellent team. Spring is an excellent team. But you can say the same thing about Spring, right? Who's Spring's best win against? Spring's best win is probably the win over Boy. I mean, again, their best win is a loss. Their best win is that loss to Spring Westfield, the tight loss to them. Fort Bend Travis, that's probably their best win, which was back in week 1. So, yeah, we're learning, like, both these teams have a lot to prove here. I think I go with the team with the single individual best playmaker. That's Bishop Davenport. That's Spring. Let's do 2 more. Malpel.
Okay. We'll do one thoughts on El Campo. They had a big win over Houston Yates, 63-18.
Yeah, not
last
surprising.
night.
They were going to overmatch them. They were going to overwhelm Houston Yates. That's a Yates program that, good on them getting into the playoffs. That's a real feather in the cap for Coach Short Jagar getting in there. But that was always going to go one way. They can absolutely win Region 3. They can absolutely win Region 3. They can absolutely win a state championship. El Campo can absolutely win a state championship. They're that good. And the running game is supremely talented. I have some questions about the defense when all the chips are down, but we'll deal with those later. Celebrate the win right now.
All right.
Finally, Ender.
We'll go with, who do you think is going to be, which game do you think is going to be the biggest upset tonight?
Oh, I have to make a call?
Yep. Your fans are wanting one.
Oh, God. This is not good. I don't like this. I don't like this question. Why'd you pick this question?
Because it's a good closer.
All right.
Because I feel like a lot of, do people ask?
All right. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Let me preface this. By saying upset watch does not mean that you're guaranteeing it's going to happen. I am not guaranteeing it's going to happen, okay? I'm not.
Educated guess.
No, not even that. I'm saying here's a game to keep an eye on. A game that maybe could be closer than you think. That's all I'm saying. You got it? Okay, do we understand the ground rules of me calling upset watch on this? Because people are going to yell at me. I don't want that. I think Hebron can give Allen a lot of trouble.
I was just looking at that.
I think Hebron can give Allen some fits. I'm not predicting it. Go look at the picks video. I picked Allen to beat Hebron. I think Hebron can give Allen some problems. If that game gets into, as we say in the business, squeaky bum time, you never know. It's the playoffs, guys.
Anything can happen.
I'm just saying that's a game I will be keeping an eye on tonight. I think Hebron has some matchups that I think they can give Allen, and where Allen's deficiencies are, I think they can exploit them.
If not an upset, it's going to be
all
close.
I'm saying. Hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff and you want more of it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, you can watch us live every weekday at noon at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, or here on YouTube. And if you want more of the best coverage of football in the state of Texas, check out TexasFootball.com and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Thanks for doing this, Mallory.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks for slumming it with Texas football today. I know you're up in the Republic of Football. Oh. What's the Republic of Football?
Yes, do listen.
What are you doing tonight? I'm not asking you out. I'm busy.
Well, I'm flattered, Tepper, but
I knew as soon as it left my mouth, it's like, that sounds like I'm asking her out.
You're making me blush. No, I was thinking about going to Louisville and McKinney Boyd.
Ooh, fun game.
We got some sponsors out there that I might.
It's a very fun game.
Yeah,
Louisville
so
is pointsy, and McKinney Boyd can be pointsy too. Two good teams there. So
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
yeah.
Please watch Bally Sports Southwest tonight, starting at 7 o'clock. 6 hours of live Texas high school football coverage. Let's see if my voice holds up. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. For Mallory Hartley, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please get your Player of the Year trophy. We will see you Monday on Texas Football Today.